Objective 3.9, to be able to write the function in standard form based on the transformations. So here we have our function k of x. We can tell that it's a quadratic function because it's the power of 2. We want to take our function and reflect it over the x-axis and move it down 2 units. So again, always ask yourself if it's impacting the inputs, outputs, or both. So if I'm taking something and reflecting it over the x-axis, that is going to change our outputs. We're taking the opposite of all the outputs. So it's like taking the function and multiplying it by -1. After we do the reflection, then we want to move it down 2 units. That's another output change, where we'd be taking away 2 from all the outputs. So we said, first we have to take care of the reflection. So I'm going to take the opposite of the outputs of the function. So that's like taking the function and multiplying it by -1 first. Then I can move it down 2 units. Well, I'm taking the opposite of the output, so -1 times 1/3, that would be a -1/3. And a -1 times 4, that would be a -4. So we're getting closer to putting it into our standard form. We can see we have some like terms here we can combine, the -4 and the -2, that gives us a -6. The next part we have to take care of is we have a quantity squared. That means we have 3x minus 1 times 3x minus 1. Often you like to use a box to represent the multiplication, with the side represented by one length, 3x minus 1, the other side represented by another side length of 3x minus 1. You can multiply it out. Some of you like using arrows to distribute one to the other. It's your choice how you would like to do that. But when you multiply your polynomial out, you would have 9x squared minus 3x minus 3x plus 1. We can see that we have a like term here with those linears, we'd have a -6x. Closer to getting the polynomial in standard form, but not quite yet. We have to distribute the -1/3 to every term within the parentheses. So again, this is written as a fraction. Envision these as fractions, write them over 1. Multiplying fractions, you multiply the numerators, then the denominators. So I would have a -9x squared over 3, a positive 6x over 3, and a -1/3. And don't forget, you still have the -6. Still looking to simplify. So I know -9/3 can simplify to a -3x squared. I know 6/3 could simplify to a 2x. These are like terms, and again, because this is a fraction, this needs to be a fraction with a common denominator so you can subtract them. Well, here my denominator is 3, and here it's 1. The common denominator would be 3. 1 times 3 is 3. So if I'm multiplying the denominator by 3, I have to multiply the numerator by 3. So this would be 18/3. Now I can combine them. If you have a -1/3 and a -18/3, that will give you a total of -19/3. And here is our standard form for the transform polynomial. -3x squared plus 2x minus 19/3.